Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So I have another Visconti I have here in my collection. As you can see, this comes in what was the standard Visconti box. Visconti have changed this more recently, so they've changed it to more of a conventional style box. So let me unbox this and I'll show you the pen that I have in here. This is a Visconti Opera. So it comes with a standard clamshell box. If I open it up, you'll see you have the identity cards, you have the manual or the brochure, and then you have the pen itself. So I'll just show you the brochure. The brochure is a standard brochure that Visconti have been including for years now, which shows you the Visconti villa or factory, Visconti tooling some pens, looking at the nibs, manufacturing the pens, various heads of state, various actors and actresses and ambassadors for their products, and some of the higher end range pens, like the Divina HRH range, the Alchemy HRH range. Now these actually have diamonds encrusted in the pens, so they're not cheap pens. And then you have like the Maya, the Christian Bible, the Istos Arachnus as well. And then the standard range of pens like the Rembrandts, the Divinas, the Michelangelos, and the Homo sapiens. So this is just a standard brochure that you get with Visconti. It comes with a identity card as well, and this you'll see here is the Visconti Opera Club Sparkling Blue Deep Ocean. So blue as in BLU. Not missing the E, effectively. It's a fountain pen. It's a 23 cat palladium one tone or single tone nib. It's a resin, and its material is silver plated, and it's a cartridge converter system. So this is number 84 of 200. So here is the pen, and let me show you the pen. It is a gorgeous pen. Now it is a resin, so bear that in mind. It's not a celluloid. But if I lift it out here, you'll see here it has this lovely cracked ice effect, and it is a stunning material. I do like cracked ice, and this is like one of the lovely cracked ice pens that I have in my collection. So in terms of the cap, we have here the standard bridge clip. We have the My Pen finial system there, where you can put a jewel in or your initials. I have initials in there. The pen itself, it tapers up to the center band here. Now you'll notice here that the pen is faceted. It is cubed or square, but it sort of has slightly rounded edges to it. It's not really the Visconti squaring the circle as such, but I think they did that a little bit better in later. Now in terms of the cap band, it says Opera here. Now it is a limited edition, so it does say here it's number 84 of 200. And you can see here this lovely cracked ice effect. And I really do like cracked ice. Now the pen tapers down here to the end cap or the blind cap, because it's not a piston filling pen. And if it's a screw thread, if I unscrew it, you'll see here it has a 23 cat palladium nib, and this is a medium nib. And this is a nice writing nib. I do like this. Now, if I unscrew this, you'll see here that it is a standard cartridge converter. It's got a Visconti branded converter here, you can see, with the Visconti V's on the end. And the cartridge the pen's about half full of ink. In terms of size in the hand, I find this quite comfortable. It's not a heavy pen, it's not necessarily a light pen as such, but it's on the lighter side of things. In terms of length, it's actually For me, very, very nice. I do like a pen of this length. If you want to cap the pen or post the pen, it does become a little bit large, but it does post securely, which is nice to see. Not all pens, either from Visconti or from other manufacturers, will post securely. So for me, this is a lovely pen. It's got a 23 karat palladium nib on it. Now, as with Visconti, sometimes you find there are nuances, and I'm going to call it nuances, not quality control issues, because I don't think necessarily this is a quality control issue. But the one thing that does sort of, I want to say annoy me, but not. I guess annoy is too strong a word. What disappoints me is, although this is a 23 karat palladium nib, I'd love to be able to change this nib out. Now, as much as I have tried, I have, I believe, 2 Visconti nibs out of almost 60 that I cannot remove. I have a number of nib removal tools, and these nibs, and this is one of the pens, where the nib is in solid, and it will not bunch, not even a millimetre. Now, I don't know if Visconti have glued the nib in, or what has happened, but something has, it may just be that it was just a very, very tight fit, but it's definitely, you cannot remove it at all. So that's just one thing that I have to bear in mind, that I'd like to put maybe a stub on this pen and use it as a cartridge converter, but unless I can find another stub or a broad nib with the same section that is going to have the same threads, I can't change the nib. So that's just a downside for me, but I do like this medium nib. I do like it a lot, so it's not a massive issue for me, but just bear in mind that so the other pen I have this on is another Opera Club as well. So it kind of looks as though on some of the Opera Clubs, either maybe it's because of the metal section, or it could be maybe it's just very, very tight fit. It's possible maybe that they did glue these in, but so if you're going to get an Opera Club or an Opera Elements, just be wary that you may not be able to change the nib out. So at least on 2 of mine, I've not been able to. Now, let's, I think, do a size check, and we'll do a weight comparison as well. So in terms of size, we're looking at around about 142 millimeters, and the cap is about 64 millimeters in length. And then in terms of from the tip of the tines to the end, we're looking around about 130, about 130 to 132 millimeters. So this is just about hitting into the oversized territory. I normally say that oversized for me is around about 130 millimeters. So in terms of, this is an inked pen, in terms of the full weight, it's got about half a converter in there of ink. It's just over 38 grams. The cap itself, we're looking at just under 14, and then the pen itself, we're looking at 24.5, so just under 25 grams. So I said it's not a heavy pen and it's not a light pen. So it's there are lighter pens available for sure, but this for me is quite a nice weight pen, and it fits in my hand very nicely. So let's do a pen comparison with other pens. So, left to right, we have a Pelikan M600 Turquoise White. We have the Pelikan M800 Royal Gold Ardent. We have a Twisby Diamond 580 AL. We have a Visconti Homo Sapiens London Fog. We have the Visconti Opera Club Sparkling Blue Deep Ocean. We have a Visconti Homo Sapiens Bronze Age Marzi. A Visconti Brunelleschi. A Pilot Custom 823. A Armando Simone Club Bologna Extra Arco in brown, and we have a Classic Pens LB5. So let's do a writing sample. So this is the Visconti Opera Club, and it's the sparkling blue. I'm just going to call it blue deep ocean, and it is a medium nib. Now, in terms of the ink, we are looking at diamine, and it is a Asa blue. Now, in terms of line variation, you've seen a little bit here because I press a little bit harder. So in terms of line variation, it is a medium nib. So you're going to get a medium line out of it. But if I start to apply a little bit more pressure, you'll see that you can get about easily three line widths out of this. So if I try and press, now this is a palladium nib, so normally I wouldn't press these too hard, but you can see here that you can coax quite a bit of line variation out of this pen, and this does, when you actually coax more line variation out of it, it puts down a very, very wet line. So the cross strokes on this pen is actually quite dry, so you're really not getting much here, but the downstrokes is actually quite wet. So I probably need to actually adjust this nib a little bit more, and just make it a little bit so that these cross strokes, there you go, cross strokes there, but it does run dry on the cross strokes, so I probably do need to floss these tines a little bit more. But for me, it's quite a nice pen, and you can see here, you can get some really, really good line variation out of it. You do have to press quite hard though to achieve this, to the point where I am probably pressing to my absolute limit that I would press to on a palladium nib. I don't normally press this that hard, so like normally these are the figure eights, and then if I press down here, like this is quite a difference here, as you can see there. But when you press down, it really does open up those tines, and it can be a nice writer. So ultimately, I'd love to swap this nib out, as I said, and put maybe a broad or a stub in there. But sadly, it's not easily achievable. I've tried numerous times to try and swap the nib out, and whether or not I've tried pulling on it, because it's a friction fitted nib within a nib collar. I've tried unscrewing it with the nib removal tools. I've tried heating or warming the section. I've tried putting it in cold water. I've tried everything possible to get it out, and as far as I can see, I am of the belief that maybe these are glued in. So unfortunately, there's no way of me changing the nib unless I get a broader nib with a similar pen. But I'm not about to go and buy another pen just to do that. So, but it's a lovely writer. I do like it. Is it one of my favourite palladium nibs? Probably not. I have much better writing palladium nibs, but it's not a bad writer. So, but it's the material is really, really nice, and I do like the pen. So thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye bye.